TikTok live, but I'm live and I'm here to say, like everybody, especially anybody coming over from TikTok specifically, I'm trying to tell y'all to look ahead of you, look towards the future, and realize that we've already said any influencer that you sat down and watched that has genuinely built a platform has already told you that anything that you have today can be gone to tomorrow. We all have said this. We all have genuinely said this, honestly. We know that what we build on social media, it's a platform. We don't own that platform. Things happen on every single platform. This meaning that YouTube could be gone tomorrow, Instagram could be gone tomorrow, Facebook could be gone tomorrow, Twitter could be gone tomorrow. Literally anything could disappear, okay? And then TikTok also did not start with TikTok. Remember that TikTok was originally Vine, which became Musically, which became TikTok. So I was literally earlier in a live from TikTok that I'm going to post on here later, where I was like, honestly, I believe that I genuinely believe that it was just time for TikTok to have another evolution, to be real with y'all, to be generally honest with y'all. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. So, genuinely honest with y'all, not generally, but genuinely honest with y'all. I really felt like it's just a time for it to go to its next phase or to its next level. So, whether it gets sold to America or it just is something that's available when you go into other countries and you visit other countries and you go and do your TikToking over there, cool beans, whatever. But my thought process on the situation is that really nobody should be worried and nobody should be feeling some type of way. Like a lot of people are speaking up, but I'm really on the breath of air of let's be honest. Let's just be honest. If it's possible or potential that Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, even if we're accusing Apple of doing it, and so many of us have Apple phones, of stealing our information and selling it. We know there's different websites that do it. It could be so far as Walmart. It could literally be anybody, okay? So to know that companies have been trading information for years, they've been collecting information, they've been studying information, and they've been legitimately watching you and doing stuff. Like we all have had conversations, and maybe we all is a little bit too broad to say, but many of us have had conversations about how we've talked about something one moment and then turned around the next moment and there's an ad for it on our phones. So when we sit down and we say, okay, our government, and I know a lot of people are like anti-government, you're talking against the government, you're doing all these things, but at the end of the day, this is your country, this is your government, this is what you went and voted for or chose not to vote for. You had the right to vote. If at the end of the day you're accusing other companies of doing it, you're knowing other companies are doing it, you're aware of them doing it, and there's proof and evidence of them doing it to the point whereby we have lawsuits, then I don't see how we can actually honestly stand up and say, okay, I'm going to stand up for my platform because I'm on this platform. I'm big on this platform. I love this platform. But you have no idea if that platform is doing the same thing that all the other platforms are doing. So, genuinely, I don't see a perspective where we can honestly get into the conversation and voice an opinion of standing up for any platform unless we actually knew what was going on the back end of that platform. Now, if you've worked for the company, you know something, like you're a part of the tech part of the company, you see how things are ran, and even then you still wouldn't know. I'm sorry, but there I feel like there's so much information that needs to be brought to light before we can actually sit up here and fight for something. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. But it's not that I don't stand for anything. I stand for quite a few things. I just refuse to stand for the lack of legitimacy of it all. It's like, okay, you're screaming that other people are making money off of us, but it doesn't matter what platform we're on. If we're getting a cut, trust me, they're also getting a cut, obviously. They deserve a cut. They gave you a platform to stand on. They gave you a platform to speak your voice. They gave you a platform to show your opinion. They gave you a platform to be whoever you wanted to be, to build the empire that anybody that's dreaming of building an empire as big as they can dream, can go and build. They've given you access. Like they've given us the opportunity in so many ways to build wealth. And it's even in books to this point whereby it's like you have to be so careful about what you say on social media if you're genuinely trying to protect a brand, build a brand, or do anything where you're trying to really make a change in this world, it's like, okay, if you're thinking about that, you need to protect that bubble. You need to protect how people are seeing you, because they are going to connect you to what you are trying to promote to them, which is where we go back to people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. We trust you because we get to know you. After we get to know you and we like you, why not do business with you? We like you. That's how the process goes. And honestly, genuinely, I feel like if we understand quid pro quo, we understand that that's how business goes. If somebody is giving you something, they're offering you something, that, like, there's so many wealthy influencers, there's so many wealthy people on the internet, specifically because of social media. So I don't understand where the animosity is coming from, where there are so many of us saying they're making money off of us and we shouldn't let them make money. But you're making money off of them and they're allowing you to make money. And ideally, yes, you're like, okay, they're making so much more money off of me. But let's be realistic. They are the owners of the company. They have bills that you are not seeing, not just producing the products, paying you your commission, yeah, but also paying for marketing, paying for branding, paying for getting it out, paying for shipping, paying for processing. We don't know what other things they got to pay for, the ingredients. It's like, still respect the fact that the original creator of what you're attacking is the person that is the brand, the company, the this, the that. Now, when we have legitimate reasons like racism or injustices, I understand those standpoints. That's why I said I do stand for some things. But to be upset that someone is making money when you're making money, it just does not make sense to me. I would be like, respectfully, they deserve to make money off of you because you're essentially just promoting their brand. That's it, that's all. And it's an honor to do so. So for me, a lot of these conversations is like, yeah, I want to know about other people doing this as well, but I'm not going to deny that it's a potential possibility that other people are doing it, even if they haven't been accused of it yet, even if it hasn't been proven yet. And I just really feel like, if we're being honest, a lot of people have made a lot of money on certain platforms. And because you've made a certain amount of money on those platforms, you don't want to speak about your truth on those platforms. You know, there was tears, you know, there was drama, you know, there was sweat, there was all kinds of attacks, and you went through them. And there might not have been anybody to respond to any of that at all. There are certain things, like, I know there are certain apps we can't delete. If you delete them, you lose everything that you downloaded on them. I've talked about this. And like I said, I'm going to download the TikTok live that I had earlier. But in general, I'm just honestly saying I don't feel like we're being honest in this conversation about the TikTok ban. And me talking around it is me not being honest, because it's like, generally, I'm honestly talking about just TikTok. Because I'm like, we're accusing everybody else of doing all these things. But I have to say, do we know what TikTok is doing? You are American citizens. We are American citizens. We have to consider what our government is talking about. Whether you trust your government or not, you have to understand that your government is on your soil with you. And I feel like information needs to be taken with non-bias, and you need to actually sit down and critically think about your own opinion and your own decision about how you feel about everything that we're voting on, about everything that we're going through, and about understanding that when you're putting all this energy, because I said this about the P. Diddy situation, and I'm saying it about the TikTok ban as well. When you're putting all this energy in a negative space where you're trying to defend something, fight for something, and struggle with something that's being pulled away from you, are you not realizing the opportunity to create something new? When I'm saying TikTok has an evolution, TikTok was Vine, it became Musical.ly, now it's TikTok. What's the next TikTok? What's the next evolution of TikTok? There's somebody that could be creating that app right now. So it's like, I don't see where we need to fight and struggle and swim upstream. I said this earlier. I believe that the circle of life, death, all of these things, they're all connected. And I feel like even apps, even businesses, they deserve to die. They really do, to make room for something new. And I understand legacy and protecting legacy, but then when you do researching, you find out that Sam Walton created Walmart, and Walmart doesn't even belong to the Walton family anymore. Half of the companies that were created by certain families no longer belong to those families. The ideals that originally were instilled in those companies no longer matter to the people that run them. They don't treat the people that work there that way. They don't treat the customers that buy from them that way. Things have completely changed. Yeah, some things need to be completely destroyed to be completely recreated. And most likely by a completely new creator. So I say, let things, I really say, let things go. Like, I'm like, there are certain things we're going to stand for, we're going to fight for, we believe in, you know, your values, your virtues, your strengths, your beliefs, what you stand for. You know what you are, you know who you are. But I feel like there's a lot of energy going into things that don't deserve our energy. There's so much potential in the future. Tomorrow. And even going back to getting upset with people who are original creators, becoming an original creator yourself, deciding, hey, okay, all of these people have businesses. I've supported all of these businesses. I made all these businesses all this money. How about figure out how to make yourself all that money? If you're upset about a cut, then how about cutting out the middleman? Come up with your idea. You see something, maybe you know how to do it better. Try it. There's so many people that are like, oh, this already exists, so I'm not going to do it. Why not? It exists, but does it exist the way that you want it to exist? Do you know how many other people have the same complaints that you have? And they're waiting for a solution? That's why my biggest speech is like, go into a business that you love, sit down and write everything you love about it, and then write everything you hate about it, change it, flip that business, show the customer service exactly what you want it to be, and now it's your business, it's your opportunity. Like, literally, it's a business plan. Go and study their business plan and turn it into your business plan. This is not like new knowledge, I hate to say, but this is stuff that I've read in many books. So when I talk to people and I'm like, you have a complaint is an opportunity. It's legitimately an opportunity. And that's why when people come and they say crazy things inside of the manifestation videos, I'm like, I don't think you understand manifesting. Because it's about setting yourself into a state of mind of understanding that you belong with what you desire. And it's coming to you, or you already have it, because already have it is quick manifestation. And it'd be one thing if I didn't believe in manifesting and I was spouting this off to y'all, but it's a completely different thing when I not only believe in it, but have so much evidence of it in my own life, good and bad. So I'm like, yeah, I refuse to put my energy into something negative. I catch myself catching attitudes all the time. Okay. So I'm like, I'm not going to actively put my energy into something that's making me feel negative. And I feel like if something is being lost or something is being ripped away from you, there's probably a reason it's being ripped away from you. Not everything should we stand up and fight for. If we're going to fight for anything, I would fight for the old people in America who deserve their Social Security that they're trying to rip away from them. Because after working all those years in this country, building this country, holding this country down, I believe at the very least, they belong in a very like cushy type life until they go away. Like they need to be living life the way they deserve to live life. How hard they worked, whatever they are owed, whatever the government promised them, they worked based off of those numbers, and I believe that they deserve that. I believe that there's things that we're not talking about in America that I really consider child trafficking, and it's legal. Like I heard a radio broadcast about it. And then after I heard the radio broadcast, I started seeing videos online about it. And it's like nobody that I've seen in the comment section disagrees with how I feel about it. There are kids being auctioned off in America. In America, American children. Are you fucking kidding me? There's so many things to stand up for. And so I'm sorry, not sorry, but my energy is not going to go towards, I don't care how much money I made. I don't care how amazing it was. I can give all the accolades. I can tell you my beautiful story. I can do that. But what I will not do is sit up and stand and fight for any platform. I don't care which platform. They all are going to make money off of us. They all deserve to make money off of us. But when the ending comes for any one of them, that's why we all say what you have today can be gone tomorrow. The ending comes. And this is why I feel like there's so many platforms. I really genuinely feel like that's the reason there's so many, because we know that at any given moment one could fall. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. Okay? Hacks happen, all types of things happen, okay? So, with that being said, I would say put your energy towards what you want. Me being a manifester, I would say literally think about what you want to bring about, because that is exactly what's going to happen. Whether you think about the negative or you think about the positive, whatever you are fixated on, it's going to show up on your doorstep. Okay? So I wouldn't fixate myself on what's leaving me. I would fixate myself on what I want to come to me. And if you don't want TikTok to leave, I would just fixate myself on it not leaving. I would fixate myself on believing that it's going to stay. If you want it that bad, I would really just be like, it's all good. It's all calm. It's all peaceful. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not doing anything they're accused of. Yada, 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 blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Because I have not done my due diligence. I will honestly say I have not done my due diligence to see enough information, but I've seen some political statements made where I was like, okay, I can consider this. And like I said, I've reposted tons of videos because of what people have said. And I do support what they're saying, but I'm also saying they're upset and I can feel that. And I feel that. And I support them and their emotions and I love them. And I also support the fact that, some people are just posting because it's the hype right now and it's going to make them all the money that they need to make before they get off the app. I'm cashing out as well. So, hey, I get it, but I'm not cashing out on that type of content. I'm literally cashing out on contracts. But that being said, everybody has their own approach. I'm really just telling you guys to keep your energies high and not let any of the negativity that's going on really just capture you. Because I'm saying it about this TikTok ban. I said it about Diddy's situation. I'm like, I feel like there's a spirit involved in this situation and it's collecting energy. Okay? And I refuse to give too much of my energy, even though I feel like even this is giving energy, even though I'm trying to be as mellow and as calm as possible in delivering this message, because we all know I can be several different stages of me. I'm an actress, I mean, Avi. But in this TikTok situation, I'm really trying to keep everybody calm and tell you if it's gone, it's gone. But if you've established yourself here, you've got to know that people want to see you. I can't fathom you thinking that you could only make it on one app. You can make it anywhere. You just need to put your efforts other places and actually genuinely believe in it, because that's how manifesting goes. If you don't think it's going to work, sometimes it still works. But most of the time you're blocking yourself. You are. Because if you believed it was going to work, there's probably some emojis that you would use, probably more words that you would use, probably a greeting that you would say to the people that you expect to show up when you expect 1 million people to watch your video, probably a company you'll tag. When you're thinking about going viral, when you're thinking I'm going to do this, when you're thinking I believe in myself, when you're thinking not just I believe in myself, but I got this, like you really wholeheartedly fully believe you're going to make it. Any day now. I don't give a if it's 675 days. That's not a whole 200, or excuse me, that's not a whole 2 years. I don't know why I said 200. But like the thought being, you not knowing what day, year, time, you don't know when it's going to happen for you, but you just know it's going to happen for you. Unwavering faith. I said this on TikTok too. I was like, a lot of people commenting or saying that they operating out of Delulu. I don't. I operate out of faith, unwavering faith. And that's why when certain things happen, it's like, is this a test? Is this preparing me for the next stage? Is this something that I need to be ready for, that I don't see that I need to be ready for? Versus, am I swimming upstream? Am I fighting something? Am I wanting something that ain't even good for me? Like, really generally thinking about what I want, and is it something that I actually want? Like, really looking at that goal. Because certain goals I add to the table, and I'm like, I don't think you really want that or really care if you get it. I think you're just doing it because it's there. um, and that's when it's time for you to, like I said, reconsider. Because for me, sometimes it's like, this could help, this could help, this could help. But it's like, can it? Just because it's an opportunity doesn't mean it's an opportunity for you. Okay? There's probably another one staring you in the face like, why didn't you pick me? Why didn't you see that I was sitting right here for you? And it actually is what you want the other one to be. That's why I say sometimes things don't align and you should ask yourself questions. But sometimes when you're asking yourself that question, you get answers and you're like, yeah, no, I need to keep doing this. I need to fight through this. I need to persevere. But I will not lie. There are times when you should walk away. You will find that. There are times to persevere and there are times to walk away. It depends on the situation. It really does. And that's why I feel like maybe people pick themes and then they preach one thing and then they preach something else and then things seem contradicting. But I address literally everything that comes to my brain so that everything's on the table. Like, literally, it's not all going to be the same way every day. It's not. If it was that easy, I think a lot of people, a lot of us, most of us, especially routine people, would have leveled up a lot quicker. Okay. Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's the people, sometimes it's all kinds of things. Sometimes you just need to be in solitude. You need to hear God. But above all, I came here to say, look towards your future because your best years, are definitely ahead of you. Your best years are above behead of you. Behead of you. Ahead of you. Don't behead anybody, please, Jesus. Oh, medieval times. Okay. I did hear somebody recently say I went medieval on him to prove a point or send a message, he said. I was like, oh my God. No. This is why I'm so comfortable with solitude because I be seeing people's energies and things that be going on outside in the world, and I be like, I'm so glad I haven't encountered these people. But I don't even want to think about these people, and now that I'm thinking about these people, I'm gonna stay inside. I'm like, you can't find me. I'm inside. Don't leave. Don't bother me. I don't want no problems. But literally, this is why I'm like, just keep your energies up. Focus on what you want. Think about what you want to bring about because that's exactly what you're gonna get. So I'm like, if you're on TikTok and you're like, oh, I want TikTok to stick around, then maybe manifest TikTok sticking around. Manifest everything working out in your favor. I told you guys one of my favorite mantras when things aren't working out the way that I want them to, or things look not the way I think they should look. I say everything's working out for my good. My mother wants me to say everything's working out for my highest good, but that's a lot of words. I just say for my good. Highest good is just like extra. But if you can fit it in there, you do it. But morning, noon, and night, I am always on the I'm so lucky. Positive, great things are always happening to me unexpectedly and actively looking for a miracle every day, daily. And when little things happen for me and I'm surprised by them, I'm like, oh, look at it. So that's why I'm like, I wouldn't be putting my energy into anything I don't want my energy to go into. You guys should focus on what you want for you, focus on what you need for you, and leave it at that. Okay? Pray for what you want. Manifest what you want. Don't manifest what you don't want. I don't want to be late anymore. No, manifest being on time. Manifest in the positive. I guess that's the message. Because there's a lot of worry, fear, and anger about this TikTok ban, and I just don't feel that way. And I am a very passionate person. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, she's lost her passion. It's not that. I love TikTok. Like I said, I could share my beautiful story because they definitely changed my life. They opened up doors for me that I could never imagine opened. Okay. And I love them. But I'm also very real as a girl from Miami. And I will not sit here and pretend like me and a bunch of my friends on social media have not gone through hoops, have not gotten online crying, have not gotten online spazzing out because things have happened that it just doesn't make sense happened. Okay? And there's no one to talk to about it. And I could say that's a lack of personnel, but also I could say that's not comforting for anybody at the end of the day. To not be able to email somebody or get a response or be able to have any type of communication with a person or even a bot. If a bot could change something for us, I don't care. But some of us, there's no response at all, there's nothing. And some of us, there's automated responses. And I've been on both ends of the stick where there's been a bunch of automated responses, and I've been where there's been like cold silence. But I've also been where they were very communicative, and I was like, there was people back there who was saying they were fellow influencers, and I was like, I can't fathom. I was like, they're all gonna leave. I was like, they're not gonna stick around because I was like, an influencer does not want to work a 9 to 5. So if they're clocking in for you, I can assure you, babe, they're gonna find a way to not have to clock in. You know, we have a schedule, a set routine schedule, but we still run that. We dress how we want for that. We show up as we want for that. Okay? There are ways that we go about things that work for us. Um, Whether that be you don't do your makeup to midday and that's when you shoot your get ready with me, or you're a good morning get ready with me type of girl. Like I said, we run our day. There's no person telling us when we're going to show up. We're going to show up when we want to show up consistently for that edge. But outside of that, I believe almost every person that has that dream to be an influencer is a person that's essentially reaching for financial freedom. That's it. That's all. And I feel like everybody in this world is reaching for the same thing. You want to be able to do what you want when you want. You do. But that's not 100% true because some people, I don't know. I can't even jump into their heads and say that I know what a doctor wants to do, but I would imagine a doctor that wants to save lives isn't trying to do what they want when they want. They, want time off from time to time, but mostly they want to make sure that they're there to save the lives that they went through all that blood, sweat, and tears to learn how to save. I would imagine that they didn't go through all of that just for money. Um, and even if they did go through it for money, they would still want to do their freaking job. Like, I think they would take a certain amount of pride in doing their freaking job. Like, there's a lot that comes with it. I'm only saying this because my background is bio pre med. So that's where the doctor references keep coming from. But outside of that, like I said, I generally believe it doesn't matter what you're going through. If you believe that you're going to make it through it, if you believe that there's a brighter future for you, you are going to see that brighter future. I really genuinely believe that. And I know there's some motivational speakers who will not agree with me because Les Brown has definitely stood his ground on it's not okay to tell somebody that everything's going to be okay when they've lost their house and they've this, that, and the third. But I'm like, I am a full-time influencer who makes money on several social media accounts, and one of my social media accounts is about to be shut down by the government. Not even something that I did. The government. Okay, babe. Um so I'm like, I feel some type of way, but I heard somebody else here on YouTube say that's such a first world problem. And I was like, it's crazy because it is. And I wanted to fight her on it. I was in her comment section. I was all up in my feelings. I was going through so much stuff. I was in the middle of a fast, so I was probably going through withdrawals. I don't fucking know, but I was going through a lot of shit, okay? And when I watched her video, I was like, I don't feel like that's fair to say because I'm a full-time influencer. And if somebody hacked my TikTok, and I talked about her on TikTok today too, because I was like, shout out to Jay, because Jay definitely was like, they hacked my TikTok and I'm not letting it get to me. And I was like, if somebody hacked my TikTok, I would be freaking out. Cause I would be like, I need to cash out first. Hold up. Hold up. I would lose my mind. But I cashed out already, so okay. I got some more cash I gotta get off of there. I forgot I was thinking about it all day and I was like, just as long as you get it done today, because it's supposed to shut down in a couple of days. So I'm like, as long as I get everything out before the end of the week, we're all good. But honestly, it's still a first world problem, because what I'm telling y'all is it doesn't matter if you have to start over. The fact that you're alive and you can start over, like, there's something to be grateful for no matter what the situation is. And I'm speaking as somebody that, like, if I really tell you all of my trauma, and I've posted about some of this shit, so it's like some of you who really know me, who've been here since day one, you know me, then you know when I say, like, I've been through some stuff, and even through the stuff that I've been through, I've looked for the positive in my situation. I'm not asking you to do something that I think is impossible. I'm asking you to that I'm asking you to do something that I think you're capable of. And I think once you do it, you're going to see a whole different side of yourself and a whole different side of the world. You're going to start to appreciate things that you didn't even know you could appreciate. And you're going to have gratitude for things that you didn't know you had gratitude for. Which stems back into the conversation of, is an obstacle really an obstacle, or is it preparation for the next level? Is it just that pull back of the slingshot to pull you forward? You're calling it an obstacle, but babe, do you see what's happening? Just like slopes. Whoop. It's all the same thing for momentum. There's ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, highs and lows, highs and lows. It has to happen. That's just how it goes. So it's just like when something comes to its end, why be obsessed with the end? I mean, if you want to have a party, if you're being obsessed with the end just to make money off of it, I get it. But if you're wholeheartedly actually losing momentum and you're actually being hurt and you're actually depressed or you're actually worried, I need you to shake it off and I need you to look forward. And I'm really posting this for the TikTok crowd that's coming over here for me. But honestly, if you're on YouTube and you're an influencer or you're building up to it or you're trying to do it or you're excited about doing it, this message is also for you. It doesn't matter who catches this message. This message is for anybody that knows I'm stressed out about some platform shutting down. I'm stressed out because somebody hacked my account. I'm stressed out because something's not going my freaking way. Well, it's okay. It really genuinely is, because even though it's not okay right now, it will be. And you need to tell yourself that, to calm yourself and to look towards the future, realize that your best years are indeed ahead of you. I don't know why this is so hard to come out of my freaking mouth today. Your best years are ahead of you. They are indeed ahead of you. Tough. But to take the time to really just see how blessed you are. Because when we say it's a first world problem and you start to consider how many things you have that are first world problems, it's like you got a bathroom, you got electricity, you got food to eat. And if you don't have food to eat, there's Feeding America. There are places, if you're close, but you might find, what do they call them? Because a market is someplace that you're going to pay, so that's not what they call them. I think they call them a meat pantry. Pantries, maybe? Is that what they call them? I don't know. I have to look it up. But there are different programs, and it's like you have to actively seek these things. And I remember when I was a kid, I saw this commercial where this kid had to like catch a couple buses just to get to a library in like the middle of his city because he didn't have access. And it was to get to that library, to get to the computer, and it was like this speech about, I think, maybe donations that we needed to get more access to computers and stuff for inner city kids, maybe, I don't know. I think I saw that when I was in Miami, but I might have saw that when I was in Georgia. I honestly have no freaking idea. But the fact of the matter is, seeing a commercial as a child, watching a child get on several buses to get to what he desired, okay? Even watching Matilda, it's like, at a certain point you have to stand up and take accountability. I know things might not look the way that you want them to look, but if you honestly consistently psych yourself out to believe with unwavering faith that everything is working out for your good, and definitely if you're believing like my mom, your highest good, then you are seeking an opportunity in the midst of the storm. You're not crying about the storm, you're dancing in the rain because you know that there's a reason that this thing is here. And I said it on TikTok. I was like, honestly, the devil don't rob an empty house. So if there's any static, I would really be checking my value. I would be like, okay, clearly I'm valuable. I need to be seeing what I can do with my value. What are my assets? What am I good at? What can I do with that? How can I go serve somebody? How can I serve myself? What can I do? How can I touch somebody's soul with me? And when you figure that out, put it out there. That's it. That's all. Even while you're figuring it out, you can show the process. Like the amount of times that I've heard the message, everything is content. If you guys haven't heard it, let me introduce you. Everything is content. You confused about something? Oh, baby. Let the world know if you're comfortable with it. Because I also made it abundantly clear that I cut out when I don't want you involved in the stuff that I got going on. If I don't want you to be a part of a certain experience, I'm not bringing you into that experience. So it's like earlier, my house was getting worked on, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna let them make noise in the background. And I was like, it really wasn't even that freaking bad. But sometimes I'm like weird about it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want people knowing there's a whole bunch of people in my house. Sometimes there's family, and family don't want a lot of people knowing that they're here. Or just people are weird. And I respect boundaries. So it depends on what's going on. Sometimes it's not my boundaries, sometimes it's other people's boundaries, but most of the time it's my boundaries. I'm like, yeah, this is a me moment. I'll shoot a video about this, I'll create content about this, but this ain't a live moment. It's not a live moment at all. Certain times it's just not. I read the room and I'll be like, yeah, you don't want to go live here. You don't want to do that. This ain't it. This just ain't the moment. But for the most part, um, I've already posted about it, and I told you guys I was transitioning. I told you guys a couple of years ago that I was trying to get monetized, and we were very close to it. We were monetized on my other channel, which is now my manifestation channel. But this channel is a channel that I put all my heart and soul into now, just trying to do my own thing, tell my own story, and just like open up because the other channel was originally a team channel. It was like me, my brother, and my ex. And when I took them off, people kept asking for them. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go make something else just for me, and get away from these fans real quick. Not to be disrespectful to the fans, but I had already told them, like, it wasn't happening. It's literally impossible at this point. Um, so I was like, I don't know what they want from me because I did the best that I could in explaining the situation. But people kept coming back and asking for content. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to rebrand the page, leave it alone for a little bit, and then come back and pick up pace again and see where it goes. And it just got to 1,000 followers, which is hilarious because I started this page like years later and it's at 15.3, or yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. Um, so yeah, I'm full throttle coming over here, coming on. I'm already on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, but learning the platforms a little bit more. So that means going into the little training sessions, watching all the little videos, because everybody runs their platform differently. And that's why I was like, I really full heartedly put everything into TikTok. I didn't put all my eggs into one basket because, like I said, I was spreading out my content, but at the same time, everything TikTok offered to learn, I used every asset they had and everything that I could like figure out to use on that app. I was trying to press all the buttons. That was literally my goal one year. I woke up and I was just like, I'm going to press everything. I'm going to do everything on this app. And I did, and I ended up opening so many freaking doors. So I was like, I feel like that's just what I got to do on all these apps. And one of the things that I said, um, I'm gonna refer to the 100 this time because I don't want to refer to who I referred to last time. Um, the Marching 100, we have a saying called transfer of learning. So it's like if we teach you one thing and that can be applied to something else, then we expect you to apply what you've been taught to that new situation. So, or we'll just like literally call it out. We'll say transfer of learning, and everybody will say transfer of learning, but we understand that that essentially means whatever you've been taught, apply it. Like, come on. So, when I'm saying this, I'm essentially saying if you know that you establish yourself a certain type of way, you approach the app a certain type of way, and you successfully found yourself achieving goals on those apps or those platforms, I say approach the other platforms the same freaking way. If you want to learn about them, learn about them. You want to monetize yourself, learn how to monetize yourself. Do what is necessary. Show up. Be consistent. Let people know that you're here to stay. And you don't have to do that by saying it. Just keep showing up and they'll know. So that's it. That's all. When I say look towards the future, I'm genuinely saying I was speaking about social media specifically, but it doesn't matter how you apply this lesson to your life. It really means whatever you are facing currently is not the end of your life. So don't make a permanent situation out of a temporary problem. Just let it go. Don't be depressed. Don't be sad. Don't be mad. Don't be standing up for somebody that ain't going to stand up for you. Just think, I won't say that because I stand up for a lot of people that I don't expect them to stand up for me. Um, but uh, I mean, big businesses. I mean, it's kind of crazy for you to stand behind somebody that, you know, is not going to come to your trial. So I don't know what to say. Maybe they would. I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe they would show up for their influencers and fight for you. I don't know. But for me, I'm like, don't, unless it's just a show and you're just putting on for the show, cool. But outside of that, it's like, I really, and, or if you actually have a political statement where you're like, this needs to be addressed, this needs to be noticed, you need to know this, you need to think about this, then by all means, definitely raise our awareness where you see fit if you think it is necessary. Um, if you're scared, don't put your fear based energy out, please. But if you feel a certain type of way, please do put it out. I just advise for you to be putting it out as calmly as possible. I'm really trying to get you to be calm because I'm like, I've been in those agitated states and I'm going to go right back into those agitated states because, like I said, I know what I stand for. But what I will not stand for is anybody that I don't feel like stood for me. I'm sorry. I know, like I said, doors were opened, things were great, but it's like I said, it's business. We made money together. That's all it was. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you've done these things that you're being accused of doing, and there's things that you've done that have upset me and several of my friends and multiple people that I know, and it's like I've seen all kinds of heartache and heartbreak on this platform. So I couldn't sit down and generally be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stand up and fight for somebody that's broken my heart. I'm sorry, no, because you didn't issue me an apology, and I don't expect you to. That's mm, it's not crazy, it's considerate, but I just don't expect you to be so considerate. I don't expect any platform to apologize to you if somebody hacks your account and ask for your account back, ask for help, and they can't recover your account for whatever reason that they can't recover your account. Um, I don't I don't expect anything. Maybe they might apologize, but outside of that, they're not going to start you at a new platform with all of your followers. They're not going to give you all your followers back. They're not going to give you all your content back. They're not going to give you anything that you lost. Um, and they're probably not even going to direct you to lawyers that could do something for you. I don't think the lawyers could, because if they can't recover the account and you don't, well, I don't know, maybe you don't know who did it to you or how to track those people either. So it's like, what could really be done here? This is why I said the energy shouldn't stay there. The energy should just be to let it go and move on and move forward. And like I said, I did really need to hear this from somebody else first, because honestly, I was frustrated with a lot that was going on, and I was like, I really needed to hear these are first world problems, because I was like, honestly, I was so ready to fight and be like, but all the money. But I'm like, yeah, that's exactly the problem. That's why my statement at the end of the day is like, it's like a man will, or anybody, it's like somebody going through domestic violence, and then after being tortured, being flown out to some wonderful island where everything's taken care of them, taken care of for them. They get the most elaborate meals, the most wonderful treatment. Everything's glorious and wonderful, and that's supposed to make up for the butt whooping that they're gonna get when they get home. Like, what? No. Like, no. It's kind of hard to like stand. It's like business. I understand why people say business is business, because it's like, yeah, while people are popping off, their videos are going viral, people love them, everything's all good in business. And then, when it's not, it's not. They gonna drop you like a hotcake, and anybody can be replaced, and we know this, and that's just what it is. So if that's what it is at the end of the day, how could you really wrap your energy up into being overly obsessed with being upset or fighting for something that, again, at the end of the day, will not fight for you? And like I said, I understand we do things for people that we don't expect anything from. That's not where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is, this is an entity that could do something for you, could do an enormous amount for you if they wanted to. But do you actually genuinely believe that they would? For instance, one of the videos that I'm about to post for my late night tea is about Dominique Brown. Dominique Brown. You're going to learn so much about Dominique Brown. But at the end of the day, Dominique Brown is a TikTok influencer who died at an influencing event. I don't think TikTok's going to fund her burial service, her funeral, send money to her family. There's a lot of people that die on TikTok, actually, now that I think about it, because I used to follow a lot of old people. And then their families would get on to tell us what happened and stay in contact with us and read the messages that we would send and stuff like that. But essentially, that's why I said the circle of life somewhere in this conversation, where I was like, businesses deserve to die just like people die. Like, it makes no sense that we're going to a company that isn't even owned by the family that it was funded by, and we care to keep going. Like, it's still a business at the end of the day. If the business is working, it's doing good, we're fine with it, fine. But from what I hear, Walmart treats its employees like shit. Um, but I've still partnered with Walmart. Love you, Walmart. Love your prices. But in general, I'm like, we hear rumors. We hear Amazon treats their employees like crap. We hear all kind of crazy stuff. Honestly, we really do. We really do. But at the end of the day, we're still buying from these companies. So that's why I'm like, if something comes to an end and somebody creates something bigger, better, nicer, more generous, more compassionate, why not make room for that that opportunity? Why not get excited about that opportunity? Why not take that opportunity? Because that opportunity could be you. That could be how your family becomes billionaires. That could be how you break your family's generational curses. So I say, look towards the opportunity in front of you versus the one that's about to be snatched right out of your hands that you have absolutely no control over. Like, I said this too. I was like, I feel like I'm always going to laugh at what I don't have control over. Like, I might get mad and frustrated for like a good little minute, but I'm like, eventually I'm just going to look at it and be like, I actually have no control over this. So I'm just going to let it go. in the midst of the delusion of me believing that I have control and trying to do everything I can to control the situation, that's interesting to see how that falls out. But usually, I won't say usually, I'll say I've grown or I've matured to the point whereby usually if I see a situation that I know I can't control, I'm just like, okay, I'm either going to chant my mantra or I'm going to ask myself some questions about like, what is this doing to prepare me? And then if I end up in a lean not onto thine own understanding type of thought process, like, I don't get this, this is just going to piss me off, I'm going to leave it alone, then I go into that mantra of, yeah, everything's working out for my highest good. I don't get it now, but I'm going to find out. I'm sure I'm going to find out. And I'm surprised every time it happens, but like I said, I usually find out exactly why things are going the way that they're going. And I'm like, yeah, I'm thankful. Little did I know. That's what I always think. Little did I know this was happening so that this could happen. This was happening so that this could happen. So, um, and maybe that's a part of it too, is that people just really need to mature in social media. But I don't know. I just saw a lot of like a lot of sad posts, a lot of angry posts. I haven't seen any like really peaceful. I've seen, some funny posts. I've seen some, just like the best TikTok videos, viral TikTok videos going around. But outside of that, babe, I've just seen like a lot of angry, frustrated posts of comparing multiple social medias, and I'm just like, it's all just business. I love them all. I appreciate the opportunity. I am like really into the opportunity. That's why I'm like, I'm serious about influencing. That's why my content's everywhere. That's why I'm like trying to follow the rules, trying to learn the rules, trying to be, well, um, well educated is the best that I can come up with right now on the information that I need to succeed. That's it. And that's why I'm like, I'm I really don't have any other energy that I can give for this situation. I can't get in front of the camera and say that I'm upset that TikTok's getting shut down. I thought I was gonna be able to. I really did. I thought I was gonna be able to make some passionate post about it, but I was like, no, as much as I love TikTok, I was like, I spent the last year with people literally just like reporting videos, reporting videos, things getting taken down, things just all kinds of things happening, and then like reaching out to TikTok for help and not getting a response until I started tagging Casa TikTok, and I talked about that too. Because I was like, it's when I started tagging Casa TikTok, TikTok for Good, Business TikTok, TikTok for Business, all of these different things. Once I started tagging everybody, like, this is what I'm going through. Can somebody do something? Then things started to change. Then I started getting responses. Then I started getting reactions. Then I started getting this and that and this and that. And I'm just like, man, why does it have to go through all of those levels and those phases? Like, why do we have to go through all of that? Like, it should be so much easier, so much easier for you to just talk to somebody. Like, there should just be customer service, honestly. That's just what I believe. Okay. So that's why for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna stand up for anybody at the end of the day when it comes to standing up for that. I made the reference to Blockbusters. I'm like, you guys, who still has a VCR? Everybody's upset about it, but in reality, why don't you just throw a Blockbusters block party? I'm like, rather than being upset, how about you go and find a VCR, get a whole bunch of well, I think you need more than one VCR. Get a bunch of VCRs, get a bunch of TVs, and throw like a block party. And then it's like, maybe not TVs. I'm sorry, but I don't know. It could be blockbuster themed, but I wouldn't even go through the trouble of getting VCRs and TVs. I would literally get a whole bunch of movies and put them up on big screens and project them because I mean, technology. Things happen. We evolve. That's why I'm like, everything deserves to come to its end, its timely end, okay? I'm not saying bring something to an end before it's time. Let it do its thing. If it lasts for a couple of generations, mazel tov. But seriously, things do not have to exist from the beginning to the ending of time, okay? And TikTok was TikTok. So it's like, I'm not, I'm genuinely not upset or confused with the fact that TikTok decided to bounce out. You know what I mean? So, it's like I'm thinking it's a quick thing, so it should have been gone quick. But yeah, I love TikTok. I appreciate TikTok, but I'm not going to be posting overly dramatic, upset posts about TikTok. I cannot, because TikTok has been stressing me out. It's been stressing a lot of people out. And since we've all been talking about how stressed we are, I'm like, I just need you guys to elevate your energy and realize that there's an opportunity in this. And that's all. That's all. I just want you to elevate your energy and realize the opportunity, regardless of the obstacle. Even though this all started with the conversation about the TikTok ban, it really is genuinely whatever the obstacle. And I know somebody's going to be like, what if your obstacle's cancer? Well, I'm sorry to tell you that I'm one of those girls that really believes in faith and really does believe that if you believe and have faith that you don't have cancer, that your cancer will go away. I believe our bodies can heal themselves. I am bio pre med for crying out loud. I know that our cells reproduce themselves every 120 days. I don't know what the fuck I was about to say, but our blood cells are reproduced, our body is replacing itself. I'm like, you still manifesting the cancer over and over and over again is probably how it's still metastasizing, honestly. And you might think I'm crazy, but I'm like, if there are cases where people are completely cured of cancer, when they didn't go do all of the chemo and all of the crazy shit where all they can think about is the pain and the sadness, they literally just went home and watched happy videos. I'm not shitting you. I'm literally talking people's stories. People going to church and praying about it. All of these things. There's all of these miracles. I'm like, the airplane man, I don't know if that's his name, but the man that crashed the airplane and broke every freaking bone in his body and told them that he was going to walk out by Christmas, and the doctors told him he would never walk again, and he still walked out by freaking Christmas. I'm sorry, but I genuinely believe that your brain can heal your body. I believe your frequency can heal your body. I believe you can heal your freaking body, okay? I believe it. If you want to call yourself delusional, call yourself delusional. I have faith. I believe these things. And because I believe these things, I'm always going to tell you guys, think about what you want to bring about and focus on the future. And if you're really that dang hurt about TikTok, then just think about TikTok sticking around for another clock, okay? You know, another TikTok or so. Okay? That's the best that I can do. Thank you guys for joining. I am done for today. Next time I promise you'll see me. But you saw me for a little bit. Oh, my screen looked really weird just now. Like it was like zooming out, but like not out. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyways, thank you again for joining. Expect more of these now that we are moving on to YouTube. And definitely more where they're more themed because I'm a theme type of person. So there's that. Bye, y'all.